For any of you who just so happen to not be aware, in 3 short weeks, we will be celebrating the single most important group to walk this great American land. And of course, I'm talking about the African Americans. From the poor, disenfranchised black man to the strong, courageous, beautiful, bodacious, independent black women. The most disrespected group in American history. And with those 28 days of knowledge being put into the world comes with a lot of stupid people who are either going to produce, for some reason, slave movies, because we clearly don't know the history of that in full context, and very brain-dead takes about white supremacy, black superiority, and of course, privilege. And I thought now would be the most opportune time to teach you, so that once we get to February and you have to suffer 28 days of hearing the dumbest things possible from people who want to claim that they are oppressed even though they are living quite a high fashion lifestyle, I thought we should get prepared right away. And I'm going to start with a university trying to let you all know that there's privilege out there in the world. And despite the way they might try to frame it, everybody apparently has a level of privilege. Happy New Year! Welcome to the January 2024 issue of the Monthly Diversity Digest. We're excited to kick off this month with 2 events in celebration of Martin Luther King Jr. We look forward to the 42nd annual MLK commemoration on January 12th. This year, we'll be in a new location, the Chevy Chase Auditorium, on the East Baltimore campus. And the theme will be, where do we go from here? Chaos or community? If you ask me, there's been a little bit too much chaos going around. Noted engineer and physician Mae Jameson, great name, will be the keynote speaker. Jameson will share her career path and her experience as the first woman of color to travel in space. View the events online. Monday, January 15th is the 2024 MLK Day of Service, and participants can choose from a number of volunteer opportunities that are available. January 15th through the 31st. You can sign up here. We look forward to working with you this year in the spirit of Dr. King and others to achieve our equity and inclusion goals. And here's where it gets good, children. Diversity word of the month. Privilege is a set of unearned benefits given to people who are in a specific social group. Privilege operates on a personal, interpersonal, cultural, and institutional levels, and it provides advantages and favors to members of the dominant groups at the expense of members of other groups. In the United States, privilege is granted to people who have membership in one or more of these social identity groups. Now, children, I understand that word privilege houses a certain connotation that is specific to the individuals out there who have that white skin color.
White privilege. Think about it. Whose flesh tone is this? I have brown Band-Aids in my classroom. I had to special order them. They're twice as much as these, and they're hard to find, and they're frequently out of stock. But when I hand a brown child a white Band-Aid, I am literally adding insult to injury, and I refuse to do that in my classroom.
If you listen to people who share my beautiful chocolate skin color, you will understand that the white people have all sorts of privileges, from the millionaire athletes out there and the business tycoons to the crackheads who are dying on your sidewalk outside. They all have more privilege than you, the poor, disenfranchised black individual who is struggling to live in American society.
White and homeless? See, no, I need a little more explanation. I need a backstory on that because this shit don't even seem real. So you mean to tell me y'all had a 400-year head start here and you still end up dropping the ball? And now you asking me for money? Man, get the fuck. I know you, because like being white and homeless at the same time is crazy. I can see if you black and homeless, okay?
But with this list that comes from this illustrious university comes a little bit of a problem. And when you look at who is deemed privileged based on this email from this prominent institution, you will come to understand seems like everybody has fucking privilege. The list goes as follows. White people, of course, able-bodied people, heterosexuals, cisgender people, which I thought was the same thing, males, Christians, middle or owning class people, middle-aged people, English-speaking people. Privilege is characteristically invisible to people who have it. People in dominant groups often believe that they have earned the privileges they enjoy, or that everyone could have access to these privileges if only they worked to earn them. In fact, privileges are unearned and are granted to people in the dominant groups, whether they want those privileges or not, regardless of their stated intent. And I just have a few questions. How is it that I live in a world where there are individuals who will let me know that because of my skin color, I can't succeed as much as I would want to as compared to someone who is trying to do the exact same thing, but their skin color is white? But you tell me that speaking English is somehow a privilege that gets me ahead in this world. I'm confused to the layers of possibilities in which I am advantaged and disadvantaged when you're telling me, based on what you listed as important for having privilege, everybody seems to have a fucking privilege. You have access to an iPhone, you're privileged. If you can walk, you're privileged. I don't understand how an able-bodied person is more privileged than somebody who is in a wheelchair when conveniently in the exact same list, you're telling me if that cripple is somehow speaking English fluently, they're somehow more privileged than the other ones who can't and they have to type on a fucking keyboard, which could lead to some form of privilege because obviously you had enough money to afford that wheelchair where you could press buttons that speaks a voice saying, "Hi, my name is, and this is what I do. How are you today, sir or madam?" It's a little bit odd how you always want to sound like you're there for inclusion and wanting everybody to be the same, yet you do great lengths to embarrass yourself and embarrass whatever it is you're trying to talk about. You cannot have a conversation about privilege where you muddy the waters so fucking much everybody has privilege. At that point, everybody doesn't have privilege. They're just fucking human beings living in the world. And I just want everybody to understand, buckle up, because I'm getting this out early. But guess what? You're going to have to go through 28 days of stupid shit just like this. So I suggest you sit back, you relax, and you laugh at little old Leon, because he's going to find out about it and he's going to laugh his fucking ass off. And if you enjoy that type of content, you could subscribe to the channel so you could enjoy all my beautiful black privilege and everything that I house deep inside, because you know you like this type of black skin. I will see you in the next one. Mwah. Goodbye.